Sure.
I feel I'll come back.
I can jump off his back.
Chris will be up in 1 second and get rolling.
Okay, so I'll put my back to the camera. How about coming from here? Come look at this angle maybe. See, I got you both there. Just flip you over. Just cross out. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Easy on your knee?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll both be coming from the same angle. You'll come out and grab.
To actually go up and down.
It's up to you.
I can.
Sure.
If you
Slap the leg.
anytime you're ready.
I guess some different kind of stuff.
How many times do you want to do each one?
You can do a couple different things. Just like I said, all we're trying to do now is just get a bunch of different moves. So we show the highlight film. They're seeing a bunch of different.
Okay, you want to come over here and let's do camera lock. Let's come behind. Stop it. Okay, basic enough.
Yes.
Okay, so torque it.
Push this way.
Okay, that's it. That might be better if we do it this way. Boom. Boom. Okay.
Kind of like playing that.
Let's try that again. Okay, then you're gonna come up and put me to the left. Just like shoot right from there. Just shoot. Like try to punch it. Lift that in here. Something like that. Okay? Yep. Let's walk through that again. Maybe I'll flip you instead. Flip you. Alright. Okay. Come in now. Dump in. Like a hook. Okay. Can you go?
Yes.
We'll try. Let's do it slow. What's that?
I don't know how high I want to go on that.
It's up to you. Fly if you want.
That's nice. Let's do that for the camera.
Oh, you guys weren't rolling?
That's perfect. See what I can do. I'll get tossed around a couple of times. Watch out for that flip. Damn. I'm coming close.
Good. I want you to land on him. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Are we rolling?
Yep. You get it one more time?
Sure. We can do it a couple more times.
After you're done, just look up at the camera. You know?
Cool. Okay. Strike the pose.
Zoom in on you. Strike the pose, yeah.
What's that? Sure. That's. I'll kick you in the face instead. Okay, good. Let's try that again. Hold loose so I don't really have to kick you guys. Okay, I don't have my back to the camera, so I should start with my back to the camera.
That's cool.
Okay?
Oh, that is good.
You just gotta watch your headboards.
Well, when I'm going here, okay, kick, you stay up, but you go down. So you'll be the low man. You come right in, pull, and then I'll shove. Yeah, there you go. You can let your leg drop. Okay. Or else I gotta run in and hit it.
Yeah, you're a natural in front of this camera, I tell you. That was nice. Mr. Lee?
Yes, sir.
What we'll do is, I'm going to give you a heads up.
Hello, my name is Lee Epperson, and I'll be your Dojo TV instructor for self-defense. Welcome to Dojo TV. And I started seeing Dojo. Okay, let's try that again. Should we do welcome to Dojo TV?
Yeah, just like you just did. That was great.
Okay, without the stutter. I have a list too, and she really gets on me about that. Can you hear it?
No, sir.
She can.
Oh, I'm sure
Okay.
she can.
Hello, my name is Lee Epperson, and I'll be your Dojo TV instructor for self-defense. Welcome to Dojo TV. I keep saying that. I get the first dojo out, and the second one.
You don't have to,
Okay.
You don't have to do the welcome. You can just have welcome. I'm your dojo
And then just
TV
bow
for
out.
self-defense. Lee
Today's
Epperson.
lesson, we're going to focus
Okay.
on
Okay.
how to say dojo.
I get the first one out. The first dojo comes out. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Take your time. Be comfortable.
I'm comfortable. It's just the list that gets me. Hello, my name is Lee Epperson, and I'll be your Dojo TV instructor for self-defense. Is that good? Okay, today's lesson, I would like to discuss the difference between the hard style martial art and the soft style martial art. Hard style martial art is what I call instant pain. Soft style martial art is called optional pain. Okay, let me demonstrate. Hard style martial art. Mr. Raphael? Okay. Instant pain. If I punch Mr. Raphael, he feels the pain right away. Now the soft style martial art is an optional pain. Let me have Mr. Garth come on now. As far as the soft style goes, let's take an outside wrist lock. I can take this wrist lock and turn it just enough to get him off balance. Okay, you see? When I torque the wrist, when the wrist can no longer rotate, the elbow will start to rotate. When the elbow can no longer rotate, the shoulder will rotate. So this is optional. I can do it very slow and cause that happening, or I can do this very quickly and cause the pain. The pain is what makes him go down. Come on, back up. So if we watch that again, the wrist can only rotate so far. There's a lot of small bones in there and a lot of tendons. That's going to hurt. When the wrist can no longer rotate, the elbow will start. Now you start to see the body starting to dip. That's the elbow transforming over into the shoulder. When the shoulder can no longer rotate, the body must follow. Instantly. Good, come on. Okay, thank you, sir. Now the hard style martial art can be punching, can be kicking, you can use your elbows, your knees, headbutt, biting. This is real self-defense. That's a hard style. Now there are some instances that you may choose to use the soft style martial art. Now soft style would be maybe a family member gets a little bit out of hand with you and you necessarily don't want to hurt them. Okay, so you can choose for the soft style. Okay, cut. Okay, wrist locks play a large part in the small joint manipulation. Let me borrow Mr. Garth to come on in. We're going to continue further now with the soft style martial art. Basically, it's two styles of wrist lock. We have an inside wrist lock and an outside wrist lock. They're known by Korean terminology, Japanese terminology. We're just going to call them for the sake of today, for today's lesson. Cut, let's pick that right there. For the sake of today's lesson, we're going to call them an inside wrist lock and an outside wrist lock. Let me demonstrate. If I can just have Mr. Garth with his arms extended out here. If I stand on the outside of Mr. Garth's arms and turn his wrist, this is an outside wrist lock. If I stand on the inside of Mr. Garth's arms. This is an inside wrist lock. And we're going to zoom in a second, and we're going to show you the little details within there. Okay. Outside wrist lock. If we can zoom in here, you will notice that my thumbs are right on the punching knuckle. My 8 fingers are on the inside of his wrist. I want to push tightly with the thumbs. I want to point his fingers towards his eyes. Okay? At the same time, I'm going to start rotating this. Now, since I'm using his right arm on an outside wrist lock, I am turning this counterclockwise. Now, if I take his left arm on an inside wrist lock, you'll notice what's the same. My thumbs are right back onto the punching knuckles, and my 8 fingers are on the inside of the wrist. Now I'm turning also counterclockwise. The only difference is his right hand now is his left hand. Okay, so one more time. Arms extended. If I stand on this side, his right side, there's the outside wrist lock on his right arm, and an inside wrist lock on his left arm. And if you notice, I'm making the exact same movement, the same motion for either arm. Now if I stand on this side, I have an outside wrist lock on his left, and an inside wrist lock on his right. Okay, thank you, sir. Very good. Okay. And let's cut that right there. For today's portion of soft style martial art, we're going to focus on wrist locks. Wrist locks are very good, used for control techniques. There's a lot of small bones in the wrist, a lot of joints. I'm sorry. That's not what I want to say. I want to say tendons. See? For today's portion of soft style martial art, we're going to focus on wrist locks. Let me have Mr. Garth's assistants here. You have your arms extended out there. Now, wrist locks are known by many names. Japanese terminology, Korean terminology. Each style varies with the name. For today's lesson, we're going to call them inside wrist lock and outside wrist lock. Now, what I mean by inside and outside, with Mr. Garth's arms extended here, if I'm standing on the outside of his arms, this will be considered an outside wrist lock. If I'm standing on the inside, now this will be considered an inside wrist lock. Something very crucial for both inside and outside wrist locks. Let's just use one for now. You want to grab a portion of the hand and a portion of the forearm. This way you have leverage above the wrist and below the wrist. We're going to apply gradual pressure, which if done quickly and forcefully, could damage and break the bones, maybe possibly sprain or rip the tendons in the arm. From here, can we get a close-up? Notice I'm grabbing one hand on the outside, one hand on the inside. I'm placing both of my thumbs right on the punching knuckles of the hand. This is the largest and the second largest knuckle. My 8 fingers will wrap around and control the wrist, a little bit of the palm, and a little bit of the forearm. Once I'm sure, and I have a tight grip from here, I will now step out away from my partner and slowly turn this wrist clockwise. Now we have a very nice looking inside wrist lock. Notice the pressure on his wrist from there. Okay? Now, if we do the same on the other hand from the outside, we're going to have an outside wrist lock. Notice I grab the hand, it's the same. Okay? I have my thumbs on the punching knuckles and my 8 fingers tightly underneath the hand. Okay? We have the other hand in there. Okay? Notice, look at that. You see? It's the same. The only difference is I had his right hand, now I have his left hand. If I step out away and I turn this also clockwise, now I have a very nice looking outside wrist lock. Good. Thank you, Mr. Wright. And cut. Good. Now I would like to talk about the combat applications of the inside and outside wrist lock. Wrist locks can be performed as a defense against your wrist being locked, various grabs such as a jacket or lapel grab, a choke, hair grab. Obviously, I don't have that problem. Okay, let me borrow Mr. Raphael. Good. Switch sides with me, sir. Very good. Let's start off with a wrist grab. He's going to reach across and grab my wrist. His one hand on my one wrist. This is a very basic technique. What we're looking at right now, this is called a cross wrist grab. he is reaching across both of our bodies to get to my one wrist. That is his right grabbing my right. Now if his left were also to grab my right, now this is considered a straight wrist grab, right from here. Okay, one more time. This is a cross wrist grab. Notice he's reaching across. This is a straight wrist grab. Okay, notice his other hand ready to cause me damage, and that's a hard style martial art. We are going to counter the hard style with a soft style. Okay, let's take it right from here from the straight wrist grab. Remember how I put my thumbs on the punching knuckle? Well, now I only have the option of one hand. I can't get that thumb onto the punching knuckle. So what I will do is I will use my arm to circle this so that I can put my one thumb that is available onto the punching knuckle. And by doing that, I'm creating an obscurity for him to strike me. If he chooses to strike, more than likely it's going to be to the face, maybe the upper body. Okay? No one in self-defense from this distance is going to reach down and punch you in the thigh. It just doesn't happen. So what I want to do is circle this up, put my thumb right into punching knuckles, and I will peel my wrist out of that. Now I'm going to switch sides and show you how we're doing that. Anytime someone grabs onto the wrist with one hand, they have one finger on the top, and they have 4 on the bottom. Now if we look at these as attackers, I have one attacker or I have 4 attackers. Me being an experienced black belt, I'd still rather have one attacker than to face 4. So by circling this up, putting my thumb into the punching knuckles, notice all I have to do is peel out and fight one attacker. It wouldn't do me any good this way to try to pull towards me. Notice I'm fighting 4 attackers. That's just not going to happen. If I push at the thumb, it comes out very easily, and I'm sure you can do that too. Let's watch it again. Straight wrist grab. I will circle this up, put my thumb right in the punching knuckles, and pull out at the thumb. Now, if I use a little bit of pressure against his thumb, I can break that. I can dislocate it. But now we're getting back into the hard style martial art. I want to stick with the soft style. I don't want to hurt him. I just want to get him off of me. So let's watch this again. Straight wrist grab. I circle this up. I put my thumb into the punching knuckles. I peel out the thumb. Now my other hand is now free to join the first hand. I will step back and control my opponent. Very good. Let's look at that again. Very basic. Now this has to be done quickly. I'm doing it slow for your benefit. If I take my time and try to do it this slow, he's going to punch me, no doubt. Okay? So I'm just demonstrating slow, and we will demonstrate full speed a little later. I'm going to circle this up, put my thumb into punching knuckles, peel out at the thumb, join both hands together, step back, and there is my wrist lock. And this was nothing more than when I stood on the inside of Mr. Garth, and I did that inside wrist lock. It's the same technique. He's grabbing my wrist, I circle, step back, and control my opponent. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Raphael. And cut. Next, what I would like to do is show how we can get from the inside wrist lock from a lapel grab. Let me have Mr. Raphael come on out. Thank you, sir. Okay. Now our last technique was from a straight wrist grab. I circled around, put my thumb in the punching knuckles, peeled out, and joined these two together. Now, let's say Mr. Raphael is grabbing my lapel. Once again, one hand is holding me still, while the other hand is prepared to do damage. That's the hard style of martial art. Now, when that was on my wrist, I had to circle it up to reach it. Okay? Now I don't have to. He's already reached out and grabbed me on the lapel. He's given it to me. So instead of reaching across where it was holding my wrist, now I'm just reaching across to where it was holding the lapel. Okay? Let's watch that again. I reach across. Now in the process of reaching across, I could slip something in there, but now we're going back to the hard style martial art. I do not want to hurt him. He wants to hurt me, but I just want to get him off of me. I do not want to hurt him. So I will reach across. Okay? And if we can get a close-up on that, I'll give you an option right here. Option is to crisscross your thumbs for a little bit more support. There's nothing wrong with this. This just gives you a little bit more support. You can experiment and see which way you like. Okay, one more time. So he grabs, and I will immediately twist off and get into my position right from there. The longer I wait, the more chance it is that he's going to punch me. And I don't like that. I'm sure you won't like that either. Okay, very good. Thank you, Raphael. Very good. Sorry about fixing the uniform. Okay, next we're going to deal with the inside wrist lock and the outside wrist lock from different types of chokeholds. Mr. Garth, can I borrow you? Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, if Mr. Garth reaches out and he's choking my neck, okay? This is once again a hard style. I'm feeling that pain instantly, okay? Now before I do anything up here with this wrist, I have to protect my throat, okay? So what I'm going to do is take my chin, and I'm going to push down against my chest with my chin. Now, I have to make sure that I can still see him out of the top of my eyes, okay? I don't want to take my eyes off him for 1 second. I'm sure he's going to hit me. So I want to take the chin, tuck the chin down against the chest. This is going to relieve the pressure on the throat. Now from here, I will reach up from the outside, put my thumb right on the punchy knuckles, and twist out. You notice from here what we have is we have an outside wrist lock. The thumb's in the punchy knuckles, my 8 fingers are on the inside of the wrist, and I'm torquing this clockwise. Okay, let's look at that again. If he grabs, push the chin down, and peel this off. It's a very simple, basic technique. Okay, one more time. Reach from the outside, chin down, put the thumb in the punchy knuckles, and peel that off. Okay? Obviously, if I push against that, I'm going to be causing pain on my throat. So I want to step back and away. The only problem is, if he's squeezing and I step back, I don't want my throat still in there. Okay? I do not want to see that. So I'm going to tuck the chin, make sure I get a tight grip, and then step back once I'm out. Now it's safe. This is soft style technique. I haven't caused him any injury right now. I could poke him in the eye with his finger and do that, or I could torque the wrist and possibly break it, but we don't want to do that right now. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, keeping with the wrist grabs, Mr. Garth. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, straight wrist grab. His left reaching straight out and grabbing my right. I will circle this up, putting the thumb in the punchy knuckle, peeling out at the thumb, and I have myself a very nice inside wrist lock. Now, if that would have been his right arm on my right arm, now when I peel out, notice I'm peeling out at the thumb. Okay, now I have my inside wrist lock. Okay, let's look at that again. Straight wrist grab, we circle out, peel out at the thumb, lock this in. Okay. Cross wrist grab, the exact same motion. Okay, same motion. I don't need to know 2 techniques. I only need one. It works on both sides. Let's watch that again. Straight wrist grab from here, circle, thumb in the punchy knuckles, peel that out, both hands together, apply pressure. Notice I'm applying pressure, trying to bend my opponent over, and keep his free arm, the one that's going to cause me damage and pain, trying to keep that far away. And I always have the option of striking if I have to. Okay, but now we're going back to hard style, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so let's look at the cross wrist grab. I put my thumb in between the punchy knuckles. Start the wrist grab with my wrist still in there. I have to start it first. Once I start it, now notice, look, I peel right out at the thumb. Slide right down. Both hands are in position. Now I can start turning this counterclockwise. Okay, now we're doing this nice and slow. If I were to do this quickly, okay, I can take him down rather fast. Okay, so let's watch this again. Thumb in the punchy knuckles. Start to rotate. Notice what we have here. Hard style technique. Come back to soft style technique. Back to hard style technique. And finish with soft style technique. Very good. Come on. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, keeping with the wrist grabs, now we're going to venture into double wrist grab. Let me show you what I mean. With Mr. Raphael's help, okay, he can have both of his hands controlling my one wrist. Okay, and he's got a very good grip, muscle man right here. Okay, both of his arms on my one wrist. This is a double wrist grab on my single arm. Now he could have one of his on one of mine each. So his 2 hands are occupying my 2 hands, and this is from the front. I can see what's going on. This can also be from behind. Okay, his left hand on my left hand, his right hand on my right. Okay, this can be up here. Okay, now we're above the belt. Now we're below the belt. One high, one low, and the other side. Very good. Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, is that good? I just wanted to demonstrate. Okay, let me show you a technique against double hand wrist grab. Mr. Garth? Okay. Now, for double hand wrist grab, this is putting him in a very vulnerable and awkward predicament. Both of his arms are occupied. yet only one of mine is. So I can feel free to do anything I want with this spare hand. Okay, but now we're going to the hard style martial art. Now, how can I get out of this situation peacefully? Now, if we can zoom in on this, let's try to turn it a little bit so that they can see. When he's grabbed me here, he has 2 thumbs on the top, and he has 8 fingers on the bottom. Now, once again, if we relate this to attackers, I can either fight 2 attacker, or I can fight 8 attackers. Okay? I'd much rather fight 2 attackers. So, by pulling up at the thumbs, you come free. Okay? So, one more time. Now, he's holding very loosely, just for the demonstration. I'm going to show you what happens when your partner is strong muscle man, like Mr. Raphael was. I'm making a tight fist, clenching. I'm pulling up at the 2 thumbs. Would not serve me any purpose trying to pull down against the 8 fingers. I'm not going to break that. I'm not that strong. But against the 2 thumbs, I can do that. Now, if he's holding a little tighter, now what I'm going to do is incorporate my body. Instead of just pulling up, trying to use the muscle of the arm, I will step back and let the whole body release the grab. Now, in the process of doing that, I might as well prepare myself for this self-defense encounter. Okay? I'm just not going to pull back and not pay attention and be oblivious as what's going on back here. In the process of my escape, I'm preparing to defend myself. Okay, one more time. He's holding tightly. I'm going to step back, use the whole momentum of the body, pull up at the thumbs. Right from there. Okay? Now, if he's really, really tight, holding very strong, he's good muscle, eat his Flintstone vitamins, I'm going to need a little bit more than my body. Now, what can we do? We can step on his foot, maybe get his attention downstairs. Okay? I can pretend that I'm going to hit him and then pull out. Notice what I'm doing. When I put this hand up, he sees that. This gives me time to reach down and grab the hand. Now I'm pulling with both arms and stepping back, using the whole body. This is all 210 pounds that I have escaping. Now, if you don't weigh 210 pounds, you're going to need a little bit of added advantage. This is where the fake comes in. I could hit him, but now that's a hard stop. But I just want to put it in his mind that I'm going to hit him. So I'll stop it. See, he's really quick. See how he flinched like that? Okay? He knows I'm not going to hit him, but he still flinched. And that's what you want. You're going to borrow that reaction to help you plan your escape. Very good. Thanks, Mr. John. Good. Now we're going to deal with the 2-handed wrist grab, where each of your attacker's arms are controlling each one of yours. With Mr. Raphael's help. Thank you, sir. Notice he's reaching out and grabbing a hold of me. His left arm is on my right wrist. His right is controlling my left. Okay? Now, if he holds very loosely, just for the sake of demonstrating, I'm going to have him hold as tight as he can a little later. Holding very loosely, I want to show you what we're doing from here. Can we turn this sideways? Get a zoom in on this? Okay? What I'm trying to do is take both of my thumbs and point them towards each other. And then I'm going to take my fingers and point them in the opposite direction away from each other. Okay? And we're doing this right down here where he grabbed us. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is come straight up and grab him. Okay? Did you see that? He grabs us. We open up the hands. We come up vertically. And we grab them. Right from there. Okay? Just like that. And you can practice this back and forth. Okay? Now, if he's holding a little tighter, see, now it's a test of strength. If I'm stronger than my partner, I can just overpower them. But what if we're not? I'll show you. I position the hands, point the thumbs in towards one another, the fingers out of the way. When I step back, it falls into place. I don't need to use power or muscle strength. I let the leverage do it. When I step back, he has to lean in. He has to. Okay? If not, he's just going to let go. So he's still trying to hold on. I step back, and this falls into place. Now you notice from here that I can strike. I can let go and strike. But now we're going back to the hard style martial art. I want to teach you how to defend yourself without hurting your attacker. He wants to hurt us, but we're going to be nice and not return the favor to him. So, wrist grab from here. Double wrist grab. Hit one of his arm on each one of ours. We point the thumbs in, the fingers out. We step back and we take control. Okay, I can choose to let go and exit the situation, or I can stay and fight. It's your choice. We point in, we step back. Okay, now if you notice, he's got one leg forward. Okay, we can take advantage of that. We can go behind that leg and just disrupt his balance, and then we can leave. Go home and have a sandwich. That's what I say. Come on up. Okay, let's watch again. Double wrist grab. We point the thumbs in, fingers out. We step back, one leg comes forward. We go behind, and we take him down. Just disrupted his balance, that's all. Good, come on up. Okay, now if it was his other leg that came forward, same thing. We go behind that leg and take him down. Very simple, basic technique. Come on up. Very good, thank you, sir. Our next technique from double wrist grab, Mr. Garth. Thank you, sir. Okay, double wrist grab. We're going to get to the inside wrist lock from here. Now, what I'm going to do is to circle both of these up towards one another. Let's watch that from a little angle here. As he grabs me, his right's grabbing my left, his left's grabbing my right. I will circle these up towards one another. When we get to the top of that circle, I will allow one to go slightly higher than the other. And you notice in the process of doing that, I'm turning his wrist over so far, it's very hard for him to hold on. Okay? I'm going to borrow that. When he lets go, I'm going to borrow that motion to start my wrist lock. So in essence, we're only dealing with one, with the single wrist grab. You see that? Let's watch that again. I will circle these two up. One goes slightly higher than the other, putting my thumb on the punching knuckle, peeling out at the thumb, letting both hands join together, and turning down into my wrist lock right there. Okay? And let's try the other side. I'll circle up, put my left hand onto his left, peel this off right from there. Peel this off right from there. Good. Let's watch that again. Circle up. And wrist lock. Notice he has to take this one away. He has to. His body's not meant to be twisted like that. Very good. Our next technique is going to be a double wrist grab, but from behind. So we're not going to be able to see our attacker. We're just going to feel them. Mr. Garth? Okay, thank you. Okay, my attacker comes up from behind and decides to grab my wrist. Okay, notice his right is grabbing my right, and his left over here is grabbing my left. Now, obviously I can just kick back behind me. Only two problems. One, that's a hard style martial art. We do not want to do that. And two, I cannot see who's back there. This could be just one of my friends or my brother playing around, and this could really damage them. We don't want that. What I'm going to do from the grab, if I turn and look at him, okay, let's turn around here. You can see I'm putting myself into what's called a hammer lock, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. If I turn this way, you see, I'm putting myself into the hammer lock that side. So we need to get out of this without hurting ourselves. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my right foot from this position, and I'm going to step out to the right. For one split second, my attacker's thinking that I'm going to the right, but I'm not. I'm going to slip out to the left when he least expects it. So I'm going to step to the right with my right, raise my left hand, and now I will step underneath of that. You see? Now I can see what's going on back here. Okay, one more time. This is the first half of the technique. I can grab from behind. I step to the right, lift the left, step under the left. Now I could have very easily stepped to the left, lifted the right, and slid underneath of the right. But you're going to have a better angle from here. So I step to the right, raise the left, step under the left. Now if you notice, I'm going to drop this down right into my hand, and look what we have. This is a wrist lock. Okay? Let's watch it again. We step to the right, we raise the left, we step under the left, we bring this down into our wrist lock. Okay? And that's an inside wrist lock. Let's watch it again. Step to the right, raise the left, step under the left. Notice I'm getting my right hand already in position. I bring this down and set that right in there and peel out. In the process of peeling out, he has to let go here. I am torquing his left shoulder so hard that his right shoulder is turned away. You see that? It's turned away from me. Good. One more time. We step, we come down. There's our wrist lock. One more time. Right from there. Very good. Thank you, sir. Now I'm going to show you how we can get to an outside wrist lock from a rear two-hand choke. With Mr. Raphael's help. Thank you, sir. Attacker comes up from behind. He gets us with two-hand choke. Okay, he's wrapped around tight. He's going to start squeezing, cutting off the flow of blood to the brain. We have to escape this immediately. What I'm going to do is to take my right hand and reach across towards my left shoulder. I can take my left and go over to the right, but from this angle you won't be able to see that. I'll take my right hand, reach across to the left shoulder. I'm going to reach down and grab a hold of his thumb with my 4 fingers. My 4 fingers are definitely a lot stronger than his one thumb. So I'm going to lock onto that thumb and peel just the one hand off. I'm not concerned with this one as of yet. From here I will let my left hand come up and join this. Now if I turn and look at my attacker, notice we have our wrist lock right from there. This is the outside wrist lock. One more time. Okay, two-hand choke from behind. Right hand reaching towards your left shoulder. Get your thumbs up, get your fingers up there onto his thumb. Okay, we're peeling this off, bringing both hands in together, stepping out to face him. Okay, we could go into hard style. I could poke him in the eye with his own finger, but I'm a nice guy. I don't want to do that. Let's watch this again. He's choking from behind. Right hand towards the left shoulder. Grab a hold of his thumb. Peel this off. There's our wrist lock. One more time. We reach, we lock, and step. Right from there, controlling the attacker. Thank you, sir. Now we're going to deal with the inside wrist lock and outside wrist lock off of a shoulder push. Mr. Garth's going to help me out. Thank you, sir. Okay, and he's just going to bully us around today. He's taking one hand, and for today, since this angle, we're going to work with my left shoulder, the closest one to the camera. He can take his right hand and he can push my left shoulder, just trying to be a bully. He can use his left hand to do the same thing, just push me back, trying to bully me around. We're going to go with that. We're going to borrow that. Rule of thumb. When you push the left shoulder, step back with the left. Go with it. Don't fight this guy. If he's pushing the left and I'm stepping forward, see, now we're fighting. That's a hard style. I want to do soft style. I want to get away from him, control him without necessarily hurting him. So one more time. He pushed the left shoulder, you step back with the left foot. If he pushes the right shoulder, you step back with the right foot. It's that simple. If you push the center of your chest, you have the option of stepping back left foot or right foot. Okay, so for today we're going to stick with the left shoulder push. Let's say his right hand pushes our left shoulder. We'll step back with the left. We'll bring our right hand up. We're tracking his arm. We're going to put the thumb. You can see that if we zoom in on that. Putting the thumb right on his punching knuckle, allowing my 4 fingers to wrap around his wrist. Now we'll step back with my right and complete the inside wrist lock. One more time. His right hand pushing my left shoulder. I step back with the left, bring my right hand up, step back with the right, bring my left hand up. Good. Watch it again. When he pushes, we step back, step back. Good. One more time. Very slow. He pushes the left, step back with the left. Right hand. Left foot, right hand. Now we step back right foot and bring up the left hand. Inside wrist lock. Now, if he chooses to push with his left hand, we'll have an outside wrist lock. He pushes with the left onto my left. So once again, I step back with the left, bring my right hand up into position, if we can zoom in on that. Putting my thumb right in between the punching knuckles, wrapping my 4 fingers around his wrist, step back with the right, bringing the left hand up into play. One more time, his left hand pushing my left. Step back with the left, right hand comes up, right foot comes back, left hand comes up. Very good. I'm going to do this by myself with imaginary attacker. My left shoulder is being pushed. I step back with the left, bring the right hand up. Step back with the right, bring the left hand up, putting the thumbs right in the punching knuckles. Okay, one more time. pushes the left, we step back with the left, bring the right hand up. Step back with the right, bring the left hand up. And that's the same whether he pushes with the right or the left hand, pushing the same shoulder.